And so assembled here, we have 9,400 days of captivity, 9,400 days of sacrifice and valor and honor. That's almost 26 years. And I want to start off, we'll start off with Ron down there in the end. And Ron, tell us a little bit about your first moments when you got shot down. Tell us about what your thoughts were.
Well, this is kind of surprising, and I don't know if I should even admit it, but my very first thought when our airplane got hit, we were in an RF-4C flying nice Sunday afternoon out just for a little ride, and felt a thump. We started losing oil pressure, we started losing fuel, there was smoke in the cockpit, and before too long we had to eject. The matter of ejecting from an airplane going 500 miles an hour was awesome. In a matter of seconds, I was going from a noisy, smoke-filled cockpit to hanging in my parachutes where it was the most serene feeling I'd ever seen in my life. I thought, wow, that was really neat. And it took a few seconds before reality set in, but my first thoughts were actually, whoa. Now I don't have to worry about getting shot down. And I don't know up till that time where I even knew that I was thinking about the fear of getting shot down, but the minute I realized I had been shot down and no longer had to worry about it, it was almost a sense of relief. So it was kind of a weird feeling.
Well, Bob, tell us about your first thoughts when you hit the ground.
Sometimes you have to act kind of quickly. I keyed down on the mic. I was going to say 403, I'm hit. But had I finished that sentence, I wouldn't be here today because I got 4-0 out of it and punched out, and the chute opened about 35 feet over the ground. So it was an exciting time, too. But my first thought was several weeks previously, an insurance salesman had come over to talk to my wife and me about buying some additional insurance, and I declined. And I thought, damn, big mistake.
Orson, I know you had a particularly rocky road and a rough road up to Wallow Prison. Tell us a little bit about your first day or two there.
Well, I was flying what was to have been my last mission, literally, before I would be going back home. I had flown 200-plus missions, most of them over South Vietnam, close air support and things of that nature, and I really didn't have to fly the mission because I was not in the squadron, but like most fighter pilots who are really into it, you want to fly as much as you can, and so I volunteered for this one last mission before my squadron left country, and I go up and I get smoked on it, and I lost control of the aircraft in about probably 3 to 5 seconds. I managed to key the mic and say something to the effect that I've got to get out of this airplane. And that was done at an octave so high that you probably wouldn't have recognized it. And I was immediately, like Ron and Bob, I was in a chute. I went out going pretty steep nose-down attitude, doing about 500 knots, and it is a thrill. But it's short-lived. And I remember the first thought I had was, dear Lord, take care of my wife and son. And I threw the oxygen mask away, and then the thought hit me, I wonder if anyone heard me make that radio transmission in that high-pitched panic voice. And I worried about that for the next 6 years and 4 months. And when I got home, I found out nobody heard it. Thank you, Lord, But, I was shot down just across the demilitarized zone, a place called Finger Lake, and it took, I got to Hanoi, I think. I was shot down the 11th of November of '66, and I got to Hanoi, I think, around the 19th of December. And it was a trip that was long and arduous, tortured with ropes, as was described, hung up by my thumbs with my arms thrust up behind me, my hands up behind the back of my head, and as all of us will tell you, and as Alvin indicated, you just you know what you're supposed to do, and you try to do it, and then there just comes a point where you think you're trapped in insanity, and there ain't no way out. And so I, in the severe pain, agreed to answer some questions, and humorously, I guess, one of the first questions I was asked is, who was in your squadron? who's your commanding officer, who's your executive officer. And I gave them my high school football coach, the XO of the squadron, of my football, the assistant coach is the XO, and then all of my teammates at Camilla High School over here a few miles. And when I got home 7 years later, they had a day for me in Camilla. We don't get to do these things very often in Camilla, so they had a day for me, and I was instant hero, and I was up talking to the auditorium, packed full, about 200 people, and not many people in Camilla. And I looked down, those guys were sitting in front of me and said, "Don't you ever go to North Vietnam." Because they were looking at me. I want to interject something here, and I'll pass on my next go around the questions. We got a guy here, Hal Kushner, who was held in South Vietnam, Army doctor. That doesn't even seem fair, but he's representative of a group of people that don't get attention the way they should. They went through more, in my opinion, than we went through. And secondly, to all of you infantrymen and the Medal of Honor recipients here, there's a poem we fighter pilots like to talk about. It's called High Flight, and it's euphoric, and it makes us feel bigger than life, And there's one passage in it, "I have done things that you have not dreamed of." And I was thinking of that as I was listening to you talk. And you have done things that none of us could ever possibly dream of. And I salute you and thank you very much. And thank you for the extra time.
Here, here.